Most traders don't lose money because they don't know what to do. They lose money because they can't control themselves when they're in a trade. And it very often comes down to one thing, and that is risk discipline. People lose control, and I've seen it many times, because trading is very uncertain. And then psychologically, that uncertainty then breeds stress. That stress then leads to reaction, and those reactions then lead to mistakes. It's kind of a clear process, really, that we see because, the markets, anything can happen anytime. These mistakes then they lead to over trading, moving stops, letting losers run, turning into hope trades, a real killer for a lot of traders that I've known in the past, where you have your parameters, and then I'd be speaking to a junior trader and say, what's your structure here and what's your plan? Hoping it comes back. As soon as you hear those words, I'm hoping it's coming back. The trade's dead, and the trader should have been out a long time ago. Cutting winners early is also a big one. You start snatching at profits. When that stress and that reaction's kicking in, and then revenge trading. If you're making mistakes and you go into the market and you're pushing to try and make that money back, or you feel the market owes you something, market doesn't owe anyone anything, and you start doing what we call revenge trading. These are all very common things that we see, and the reason why people lose control. So the pro moves, how to react to these and perfect yourself as a trader. You've really got to define that risk and have that discipline of knowing your downside. We speak about this a lot. I write about it in my book coming out this year. You've got to have that defined exit. Where are you wrong? And there's nothing wrong with being wrong. And I speak to my junior traders and myself a lot of the time when I'm putting trades on or coaching through trades. Listen, it's okay to be wrong, but have that error of judgment of your or that margin of error baked into your plan, and know that downside and own it, and it's fine, and use that with your upside. And then we work on expectancy, etc., etc. So defining that risk, accepting that loss, it's fine. You're never going to win 100% of your trades. Okay. I always said to my junior traders and myself, you're looking at 51%. And there's a famous hedge fund. I think it might be Larry Fink, or I forget. There's a lot of quotes I use from a lot of big hedge fund guys, but he says, I only need to be right 30% of the time. The rest is good risk management. Okay, so if you know in that 30% of the time that you're going to be 100% right, or as close to as 100% as you can get, that's when you increase your size, for example. For me, I used to say, just have to be right 51% of the time. That's your aim. Okay, and then sizing appropriately, it leads on nicely to that. Sizing appropriately when you have defined that risk and you have got more history behind you and more trades and understanding and more data for yourself, knowing when you should size up, knowing when you should size down. Very important. Talk about that a lot in my training and in the book as well. And overall, I've got a poster framed in my office. Stick to the plan. Having a plan in the first place, making sure you stick to it. Don't meander into that hope trade environment where you're thinking, I hope it comes back. I hope the market turns. I hope this happens. You have to have a level of optimism. I'm a very optimistic person, always have been. But you have to balance that with reality. So knowing when you're moving from optimism, you've got to be optimistic in every time you trade, right? But you have to bake in a little bit of pessimism in there and make sure you don't upgrade or downgrade to pure hope. That is the absolute key. So there's a few things there, a few trader pro tips to help you out on very common mistakes when you're losing control in the markets, because it's very easy to do so when you're a junior trader and you don't have that experience. So make sure you listen to these mistakes, hopefully learn something from myself, coaching all of those professional traders over the years that will make you a better trader and get you to where you want to be as a trader going forward. Okay? Hope you enjoyed this. There's going to be more to come. Go check out our foundations playlist if you want a full structured approach to the basics of trading. And then like and subscribe if you want more. Okay, see you on the other side.